Good day, social psychology students. The aim of this video is to provide an overview of the 5-2 final project Milestone 2 research design assignment. This assignment will be due in Module 5 and will be submitted as a discussion response. Your initial discussion response requires that you develop a research design study. Remember, this is a hypothetical study. You're not actually carrying out an investigation. You're going to build on the work that you completed for Milestone 1, the literature review, that was due in Module 3. In preparation for developing your discussion, you want to reflect back on the initial thoughts related to research design that you submitted in the Module 2 discussion. You want to enhance that research design based on the feedback that you received from your instructor and classmates, and use that information in conjunction with your recently submitted research gap worksheet to develop a coherent research study. Keep in mind that your hypothetical study should be logical, that it should be feasible, one that a researcher could carry out if they had the necessary resources. It is required that you submit the completed research gap worksheet in the milestone discussion forum. This will allow fellow students to review what work you have completed thus far and provide insight into your research study. The focus of your initial post would be to discuss how your research supports further exploration of the topic you identified. Once again, that's the research gap that you identified in Module 4. Be sure to include all of these bulleted elements. So use these questions as a guide as you're developing your initial response. What research design are you proposing? Be sure to fully explain the research design that you've selected for your hypothetical study. Make sure it aligns to the research question that you created. And you also want to provide a rationale for why you selected this design over other options. Next, be sure to discuss how you built upon the work from Module 2, those original ideas that you came up with for the Module 2 discussion. What have you added since then? Also, what new elements are you adding to your research design based on the research gap that you identified while completing the worksheet in Module 4? The next bullet to address, discuss in detail how your research design would be implemented. What would your sample look like? What location would you target for your study? These are the logistics of your hypothetical research design. And the last bullet, which is very important, how will you account for issues of ethics? You've learned about the history of ethics in research studies, especially social psychology studies. How will you address ethical implications of your hypothetical research question? This information should be developed into a coherent discussion for your initial post. And it is always important to support your post and your responses to peers with examples and the resources that you've used and reviewed within your coursework. Similar to other required discussions, you must respond to at least 2 peers and help your peers identify the strengths and limitations of their research design. You're all in this together, so using feedback that you provide, your peers can build on their work and strengthen their hypothetical research design, which will ultimately strengthen the final project submission. There are a number of tutorials at the Smart Thinking online tutoring service. You could also set up an appointment and work with an online writing center representative. Be sure to take advantage of these as you work to strengthen not only this discussion post, but ultimately your final project submission. And this milestone assignment will be graded using the discussion rubric for undergraduate courses. Please refer to this while completing your work. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out to your instructor.